I guess in the reality of my life is that I have a wife and I have children and I have to provide food and shelter and etc to them. So for me, in my reality, there needs to be some kind of future projection of earning income and creating, I guess, safety for them.
But how long does it take to create a plan to succeed? A few moments? See, I worked as I had an awakening in 87, then I had a full awakening in 99, and so there was an 11-year break, or a 12, 13-year break or something like that. And I had to support a family too, two families actually, and so I did. But I had already fallen in love with the present moment, and I wasn't interested in living in my mind, procrastinating and worrying about a future. I'd make a plan and I'd execute it when it was time to execute it. But I spent most of my time in reality rather than thinking about what I was going to do or what I wasn't going to do. So I was trusting what I'd planned, and I put it into action when it was time. We don't have to live in our heads. And up until the age of 5, we didn't. We actually were just present. But we went to school and we learned how to live in our heads, so we have done ever since. But if you can get back to reality, it doesn't handicap you in any way. It gives you clarity, because when we're thinking all the time, we create a certain fog around ourselves. When you can get back to reality and you're not thinking so much, you have a hell of a lot more clarity, which means you're more likely to be successful in the material world anyway.
Yeah, I thought I was an okay meditator, but the last few days I've found that I have very small moments before I'm thinking or my mind is taking over.
Yeah, what about right now?
Right now there's nothing in my mind.
No, I know, you're right here, I can feel you. This is brilliant. And what has to happen is you have to stay here, so you have to work out what you have to sacrifice to stay here. And you will have to sacrifice things. But I don't think you have to sacrifice taking care of your family or supporting them. I don't promote that ever. But I do promote being present to reality, which means sacrificing a whole pile of dream. And so I look at renunciation. I'm not into renunciation. I'm into, not in the way of renouncing the world. The only thing that I am interested in renouncing, or I did renounce, was this. All the thought patterns, all the things that kept me stuck in my head. I renounced them, and boy, was that a freedom in itself. You know, there's no freedom in procrastination or worry. And procrastination and worry don't improve your chances of winning. If anything, they cloud you and they stop you from doing things, because, you know, if you serve fear long enough, you don't do anything. Come back to reality. Come back here. You have a practice of meditation. Keep it up. But it doesn't have to be formal. Just being aware around you of what's happening is meditation. The only time we're not in meditation is when we're thinking. Hello?
You just said there, sort of guessing, I can't remember exactly, something like, what is it you have to drop that allows you to stay present?
Thoughts.
So, is it actually that simple? Because I know in an instant one of the heaviest anchors that keeps me in sort of the person story, and I know what it is. So it's dropping a business and a company.
Ever ridden a motorbike?
Never. Moped. That doesn't really
Moped?
count.
So you're going flat out on a moped, which would have to be 80 kilometres an hour. Right?
Downhill.
Downhill. And on a moped, that's dangerous because they're not that stable. How present are you?
As present can be.
That's it. And that's the way to live this life. That present. And because we've learnt to live in dreams so much as a result of going to school, to get that present again, we actually have to practice being present, because we actually have a practice or a default pattern of not being present. And so you go to spiritual teachers and they teach meditation and mindfulness, because really and truly it is relief from the mind to be present. And so anything you can do in your life, whatever you do, to get more present is worthy. Even a moped at 80 kilometres an hour. I used to do this thing. I used to love walking on the beach early in the morning because I used to live down Coburn Way and Fremantle Way. And I'd walk on the beach, and I did this thing called what I called walking in Zen. And so I'd have no shoes on, I had bare feet, and I'd be walking, and I'd be aware of my footfalls. So my awareness was in my feet, and then I'd be aware of my breath at the same time as my feet. And so now I had awareness on two things: my feet and my breath. Then I'd be aware of any sunshine or any wind that was hitting me. So I'd have awareness on 3 to 4 things now. Then I'd be aware of the sound of the surf. And there's 5 things I'm aware of that are actually real. There was no room whatsoever for me to think. Because to think, I would have had to have taken awareness from all these 5 things. And so I used to call it walking in Zen, just walking on the beach, being aware of those 5 or 6 things. But if we don't practice being present, and we have a habit of not being present or present to thoughts, it's not going to change unless we do something about it.